Mr. Malachy Steenson is local solicitor and community activist in East Wall. We're here at East Wall and they're blocking the road here. Malachy, I'd like to say a few words about what's happening here in East Wall.
Well, we're here tonight. This is our first protest since the Christmas break. Now on Annesley Bridge, which was one of the main arteries into the city centre from Malahide, Holt, Fairview, and we're also blocking the junction at the Clonlough House, which is on Ballybock, which people might know has been close to Crow Park. Then we're moving on to block at the Circle K and making our way up into Clontarf and coming back down the Alfie-Bourne Road. Caused massive disruption. I think on the last night we were out because 230 traffic jams around the city. And I know that the people over in Crumlin in Morn Road in Drimna there are blocking the Crumlin Road. And there are other groups out at other sites protesting and blocking traffic. All of the things that we have predicted prior to Christmas have come to pass, sadly. We see the incidents in Killarney. We see the attempts to use schools, and I think that the use of a school in Morn Road in Drimna over the Christmas period was an attempt by the state to see if they could do it. And I would suspect that when we come to the Easter break and certainly the summer break, that there will be a lot of schools being used by the state to put in welfare migrants into. And we also know that in different areas people are standing up. The people in Clondalkin, the people in Tallaght, the people in Kill, that man is revving that in support of us rather than opposed to us. We have also sent our support to the people in Carlingford and the people in Drogheda. And you can hear the support here from people. There's over 150 people here on a Friday evening, the first Friday back to work after Christmas, and people are still out, and people will be out on any night we have protests. And our position is still the same. We want this facility closed down. The government at Cabinet decided to create a fund of 50 million for integration. That's an attempt to buy off parts of the community. Well, this community, and certainly the people who are out here protesting tonight, won't be bought off. Whether it's 100 million or 200 million, we will not be taking their silver.
And why? Because it's against the safety of the community here, and we can see it's happening all over the country, be it in Carlingford, up in County Louth, all around County Louth. Drogheda, we're meeting in Drogheda tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If you're around in County Louth, be there. West Street in Drogheda, Saturday the 7th, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, be there to protest against what is the colonisation of Ireland. Is even Mary McAleese said, with over 17% of people in the country now non-national, it is tantamount to what was like the plantation of Ulster in the 17th century. Irish people were never asked, we never gave a consent, and now it's the Irish, ordinary Irish people having to pay the cost, pay the price in our money and in the safety. The lack of public services, the strain on public services, which it puts for ordinary people, is completely unacceptable, and I believe that's one of the main reasons why people are protesting here, Malachy.
Well, people here are sickened that there's almost 1,000 people lying on trolleys in hospitals around this country waiting on a bed. We have almost 1 million people on hospital waiting lists. We have 100,000 children waiting on mental health assessments. We've tens of thousands of more children waiting on medical care. That is not a situation that can continue. We have a whole housing crisis where we don't have enough housing for the people that are living here already. And yet the government seems intent on bringing in the same amount of people again this year. And it's not acceptable that our children have to emigrate after being educated here because they can't afford to rent somewhere, they can't afford to live here. And yet the government is increasing the population and driving up house prices and ensuring that our children cannot have a future in this country. That's one of the reasons for it.
There's thousands, I know that there's 4,000 doctors, Irish doctors working abroad. There's umpteen thousand nurses. When we've seen the pictures of the nurses in, I think, Sydney in Australia, and they had the big poster, give us a reason to come home. Well, we should give them a reason to come home. And bringing in hundreds of thousands of people cheap labour, undermines wages for ordinary Irish people here, makes them emigrate, and it just can't go on. And we're here today to say, no, you know what? The government, we're just here to say, it can't go on. Enough is enough. You know? Thanks very much. Thanks. So hopefully, as many people around Louth and County Meath tomorrow will be in Drogheda tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We need as many people, bodies there to make it clear. So we're just moving along here. We're just starting to walk. So fair play to people of East Wall. And actually, it's great humour as well. It's a bit of crack meeting people that you know. And bit of a laugh. You can see it a bit here. You see, and maybe switch it around. We have a different view. Okay, that's over and out for tonight. Hope you can see that the people of East Wall are standing up to what amounts to a new plantation of Ireland. They've had enough. They're worried about the safety of their streets for their own children, the lack of resources, the strain on public resources that it has for the whole of the country, and we know that it's happening throughout the whole of Ireland. Every nook and cranny, school, even commercial buildings are being used to take in people. We don't know who they are. 40% of people who apply for asylum arrive in Dublin without a passport. It's ridiculous. We haven't got a clue who these people are, and it's just basically Irish people have a right to be asked, and we must, depends on consent, and also at the minute now, well, you know what, with the numbers, we just can't take it. Ireland is full. We have to make that point very clear. So over and out from East Wall. Thanks very much. Go to Margaret's.
Hermann Kelly, a pleasure to meet you. Freedom Party. We're all joining at the end of the month anyway.
Oh, very good. What's your name?
Gary Anthony McLoughlin.
Oh, yeah. I see on Facebook. Yeah, what's that?
Been out of marching, but since 2014 myself.
Go on, say a few words while you're here. Hold it there if you want.
Hold it there.
You want?
Yeah, we'll say a few words.
Say a few
What do you want to ask me about? Why am I here?
Yeah, why are you here?
Well, I lived for 11 years in London.
Yes.
Well, I seen the effects of mass uncontrolled immigration there.
Yes.
I came home January 20, 2004, which is basically 19 years ago.
Yeah.
To try and warn the people, like, this is what's happening in England all over the place.
Yes.
The people are based
Where about in England were you? London?
London.
Yeah.
I lived in East London, which is a very high population.
I believe the English are now a minority in London.
36.4% of the last census, out of 10 million. So the 6.6 million.
Basically a third of the population in their own capital.
Yeah. And that's what the parties say they want here.
Yeah.
And that's why the people in East Wall are standing up.
Yes.
Who are very accommodating to Ukrainian women and children refugees coming in, or women and children refugees.
Yes.
But it just seems to be all over the Western world that it's fighting age young men between the ages of 18 and 35.
Yes.
Most of them have no direct flights into Ireland.
No.
They claim asylum. 40% of, just let me finish.
Yeah.
40% of asylum seekers this year came through Dublin Airport with no documentation to say who they are.
Just joking.
They should be put on the first plane back out of there.
Yeah.
I remember
should
the day.
Be made the responsibility of the airline who brought them in.
Exactly.
To put them back out again.
Exactly. They're the
not,
ones that
not on the taxpayer.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
The Irish taxpayers.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're the country of 5 million people now. I heard your speech today. We're 3.5 million now. It's gone up to 5 million. Yeah. But we have a national debt of €278 billion, which is a third of a trillion for a population of 5 million.
Yeah.
It tells me that the political parties in Pound Doyle Ireland today have failed the Irish people, not just now, but for the last 100 years. Yeah. And what we're saying is we need new blood in Doyle Ireland that's actually going to fight for the Irish people, Irish culture, customs, traditions, our way of life, our economic security, and most importantly, our border security.
Yeah.
That is most important. Yeah. We want to know who's coming in and out of this country, because we're the wit's end for our women and children's safety.
Yeah.
And I'll leave that there with you, Herman.
Yeah. Very good. Go to Margaret. Do you know what? Because when you think about it, all across Europe, be it in Britain, be it in Spain, be it in France, be it in Sweden, everywhere we have had large-scale immigration, you've had large welfare tourism, but you also had large increase in crime and in sexual assault and rape.
Exactly.
And you can see it, Sweden especially, it stands out. Malmo is the rape capital of Europe.
Behind
Malmo.
Lesotho in South Africa.
Yes.
It's just behind Lesotho in South Africa.
Yeah.
Sweden is the most welcoming people in Europe. And the way they've been treated like is an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
Sweden voted for the first time in 88 years in right-wing party, the Sweden Democrats under Jimmy Akinson.
Yeah. I know him, would you believe?
What?
I know him.
You know Jimmy, but there you go.
Yeah.
That party was started in 2002. They're now ruling the Swedish Parliament. The Brothers of Italy was founded in 2012.
Yeah.
And they're the first right-wing government since the Second World War.
Yeah.
They're ruling the Italian Parliament.
Yeah.
The ordinary working class people are sick of their governments because we're not voting in the best people to represent us. We're voting in the dregs.
Irish men and women who stand up for the rights of Irish people.
Exactly.
We can't house the world. We've got to look after Irish people. This is our homeland. This is our own. There's 70 million Irish people around the world. But we need a place to call home. This is our home.
It is our home.
And once it goes, we've got nowhere else.
That's what I say. If it
would be like the Armenians.
Exactly.
That they've got no homeland.
If it goes tits up in Ireland, the foreign nationals can always go home. We can't because this is our home. Yeah. And we won't have a home at the rate that the country is going.
We're going to end up like the Armenians of Europe with no homeland to go home to.
Leo Varadkar's 2040 Ireland plan, he wants another 1.5 million immigrants into Ireland by 2040. There's going to be nothing left of us. We're going to be like London and minorities in our own seas. And we can't even complain about it because we're called every Islamophobe under the sun. Time for name calling has to stop. And the time for national debate on immigration, climate change, whatever's affecting the Irish people needs to be held as a matter of urgency. The days are gone when you can turn around and call me a racist and whatever you want to call, because that's stifling debate. That means you're afraid to debate me on what I have to say, because what I might have to say is actually true. And that's why they don't want to debate us, because we have the facts. They have the
all they have is name calling.
Exactly.
They don't have the facts, but we're standing up. We're on our hind legs, up now. And here, you know what? That's more eloquent there than I can say it. So, go on, Margaret, Slán Hispanic. EOI.